Today we're going to master some Tinkercad basic skills and make a fantastic print and place fidget. So let's get cracking. You can start by visiting the website tinkercad.com. It is 100% free. I choose sign in with Google. When you click on the design tabs, you will see everything you created, and right here you can see all of the practice I did to get where we're at. We're going to start by building our own from scratch by simply hitting create 3D design. I like to start by naming them. We're going to call this one Pip Fidget, and I'll put a 26 after it so I can keep track of what year I created it. As soon as you click, it is saved. They all save to the cloud. I'll show you super quick. If we back up, this is what a file looks like. It is 100% private. To re-enter, you simply hit Tinker This. Before I go any further, I do want to highlight this technique was shared by ZDP189. You can check all of his amazing work using the bit.ly up above. Now, if this is your first ever day using Tinkercad, I've got day one lessons. You should check the bit.ly up here just to get your feet wet. We're going to start today using cool tools like Sketch Revolve. When you bring this out, I'm dropping it on the grid, and notice I'm lining it up at a 20 by 20 grid close to the center. Whenever you launch Sketch, it's good to check out the Sketch features. You can learn all about the tool right here. It is also where all the What's New items are shared. It is awesome, and it's always available. You can return quickly. If you prefer my tutorials, you can check the bit.ly right here. Sketch is sweet because we can make awesome curves, but today we're going to stick with straight lines. We're going to start from 0, and we're going to move out 9 millimeters. Then we're going to go up 1 millimeter. Then we're going to nudge back 3 and up 3. Click, and then we're going to move over and up 1 millimeter, and we're going to go back. You can see how this connects, but notice the dimensions get in the way here. So we're going to simply hide the dimensions like that or with the shortcut. We're just going to continue this same pattern. Remember, it was 3, 3, bang, bang. Now this is where it gets kind of cool. We're going to go back 2, and then we're going to go down here, and we're going to go back 2. Just straight down. And then we really want to connect right here, but notice I messed that up. Check it out, it doesn't matter. I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to click right here to finish it. Now I can double click, and we can simply bring this point back where we wanted. Notice this gives us a little bit of a broken line, so I'm going to just move it along, and I'm going to move this down to where I wanted. Bang! We have got this awesome shape in just a few moments. Let's hit Finish Sketch and check out how slick that turned out. All right, so the cool part of this is we use it for the hole as well. Simply do Control D and make the duplicate a hole. Note this one is selected, so now we're going to hit Edit Sketch. Now we want this to change in 2 ways. We can double click to edit the points, and we just want them to all come to the back. Making this even faster, I can click on those 2 and drag them. This one, I'm going to drag the whole line just like that. Now we want the rest of these to move out so there's space between this. Here's how slick this is. Switch to point 1, then simply grab all of these up at the front, and we're going to need to move them forward. 1, 2, 3 tenths of a millimeter. Now this is the number I use for my Bambu Labs P1S. If your printer's less accurate, you may just want to add another tenth or so. I, of course, am going to stay with 0.3, and we can hit Finish Sketch. And bang, our parts are ready. All right, so let me show you a fancy trick. We're going to grab our 2 parts and do Control B to bundle group them. And then we're going to save them forever under your creations. Notice I've already done this once. I'll show you how to delete one. You simply click the gear and hit delete. And then here's how we create it. Click the shape, hit Create Shape. And after a moment, it arrives inside. Now you might notice this is a single piece. We need these to stay separate, so we're going to choose Keep Shapes Separate. You could choose Allow Editing, but this is even better for what we're doing. Now we are going to name this Bearing, and then you can simply hit Save Shape. After a moment, you'll see that it appears right here. I'll show you real quickly. We can delete this one, and at any time in any project, you'll be able to go back and get that one again. How cool is that? Right now, though, let's go back to basic shapes. And once again, we're going to use Sketch Revolve. When we bring it out, we do want to set it in a 20 by 20 grid. It is easier if you have it set to the 1mm nudge so it just snaps in place. For this part, we want our dimensions on, so make sure you don't have the line across it. Now we're going to go out here 13, and then we're going to go up 5, and we're going to go over 2, then we're going to connect it, and we're going to bring it back, and we're going to finish it. This gives us a line that's got an edge on it, but if we double click out here on this point and hit 2 to auto smooth, we have got our fidget piece. Hit finish sketch, and I'm going to tell you to put the sides at 64 and press enter. Zoom out a bit and do Control D, and then when we use shift nudge, it goes 10mm instead of 1. So we're going to do that 5 times. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What that does is it gives us a gap of 20 in the middle. If we grab these two now and do Control D, we're going to rotate it 60 degrees. Notice if you stay inside, it snaps by 22s. We want to go outside so we can get exactly 60. Notice if you miss, you can just click the box and type the -60 or +60. And then do Control D one more time so you've got your circles all the way around for your fidget. Just for fun, I'm going to change the colors for these. These will be the ones that we keep for the fidget piece. And then these others are actually going to be the parts that make them connect. Here's how it works. Hit Edit Sketch. And we need to take this and flip it. Well, to do that, dimensions on, you simply click here and choose negative and press enter. You make it the opposite so it moves. Now we need to double click it and we need to grab these parts and we need to move them back 10. Well, with our nudge set to 1, we can simply do shift, click, and bang, they move back the 10mm we need, and they're going to be flipped the other way. Now we can click on this, and we're going to do 5 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you hit Finish Sketch, you have got a part that's going to connect right here. Notice it's too large. We can fix that by switching the sweep to 120, and we can change the start to 300. Bang! Now, if you're wondering why 300, well, 60 degrees from 360 gets it lined exactly right. Repeat the process right here. Edit Sketch. Once again, click, flip by making it negative. Double click to edit. Simply grab the 3 points. Shift, click the nudge. Click on this line and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And finish sketch. Of course, we've still got to do the 120 degrees, and then this one also starts at 300 and press enter. One final time, although this one has a little bit different math. This part is obviously the same. Flip with a negative, double click to edit, grab the 3 points and shift click left to move them 10. Click on that line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finish sketch. And then for this one, of course, we need to change the 120 for the degrees. And for this one, the start is 120 degrees. And bang, we're done. All right, so let's get this line to the center. First, I'm going to grab everything we built, and let's do Control B to bundle group it. This gives us a center, but it's really not the center of the fidget. That's not even close, but it does center it to the middle. We're going to center everything on a cylinder. Simply bring the cylinder and set it in a 20 by 20 grid. And then we're going to use Alt-Shift to change it to size 25. Stretch it however big, type the 25, press enter, and then we're going to make the height 10. That way it matches our shape. Now we can grab all of those, choose L for a line, and of course use this for the center and the center. Now it's easy to see that this is not perfect, so what we're going to do is click on our fidget and nudge it till it actually hits where we would feel is the center. Here we're getting close. See the overlaps? If we do one more click, that is super close. If you switch to a 0.25, that one is going to work absolutely perfect. Notice the gaps all the way around. So it was single millimeters followed by a 1/4 millimeter. All right, let's add those bearings. Once again, we can go back to your creations. Here's our part. We simply need to bring it out. I'm going to set it a little bit of ways, and then I'm going to ungroup it. That's because we're going to do these totally separate. I'm going to just drag them apart. and I'm going to just move them over here for now. If we grab the 2 and do Control D and Shift Nudge, and then Control D again and again, we get the 4 that we need for building the part. We're going to get these all centered on this shape, and we do that by simply ungrouping this and then bringing the green ones close to where they go on the fidget. Leave the holes to later. I'll explain why in just a few minutes. With those close to lined up, we're going to switch to the top view and notice it's pretty easy to simply grab those 2 pieces. Notice it says 2 shapes, L for aligned, make that pink one the boss, and simply click center and center. Make sure that it moves like that. You can see everything stayed aligned, but that's how easy it is to get these lined up. Once again, grab those 2. Always double check that it says 2 shapes, L for align, make the pink one the boss, and choose center and center. And repeat for the last one. The orange one is a little trickier, but check this out. Tinkercad gave us a command called V for visibility. Once you click it, the shapes that you click on and then click the outside become invisible. It lets us see better what we're trying to make. Now, once again, we're trying to grab just these 2. Notice that rectangle gets them. And then, of course, we want to do L for align. The orange one is the boss, and that one magically already was centered. Now we need to lock all the green ones. We're going to use visibility for that too, but this time we'll do Control H. Notice you can grab 2 shapes and do Control H. You just want to make sure you leave these green ones. And finally, Control H for the last one. We want to take these 4 pieces and we want to lock them. They have got to stay where they are. Now we're going to place these pieces the same way. L for align, this one's the boss, center and center. I'll get this one close and this one close and this one close. And then we're simply going to select, choose a line, make sure the green one's the boss, center and center. L for align, green one's the boss, center and center. And finally select the 2, L for align, make sure that green one is the boss and choose center and center. We're going to quickly shift select these holes and we're going to lock those as well. When we bring back everything, now we can grab the entire fidget. And there's 15 shapes, but 8 of them are locked. So when we do Control G to union group, it is really only grouping the fidget parts. Union groups do take a moment because these are complex curves, but after just a little bit of time, our fidget body is created. Now you may notice these little lines right here. I promise you, you'll see them in Tinkercad, but once you take them to the slicer, they will not exist. All right, now we need to unlock those holes. Let me show you how we do it. If we simply hide this piece, now we can click on the center of those holes and real easily select them and unlock them. We still want to leave the green parts locked, but we want the holes to be unlocked. Choose Show All, grab everything, and one more Control G to union group. As we're waiting, notice there were 5 shapes selected, but after a moment, there's our fantastic fidget. If we zoom in, I can do T for transparent and check it out. You can see those gaps all the way around it. How cool is that? I'm going to quickly shut off transparency with the letter T. I'm going to choose some colors that I think are more fun. I'm going to make that one pink. I'm also going to quickly hide it. Once again, you can do Control H or V for visibility. Click the part and bam, when you click outside, it's hidden. I'm going to take these and I'm going to make them a fun blue. Instead of normal, I'm going to go custom and push it out there somewhere. I do want to shut off transparency. And of course, next up, we need to send it for 3D printing. Simply select the part, choose Export, STL. I'm going to store mine in my 3D modeling folder and just keep the name Pip Fidget. Of course, now we can bounce to Bambu Lab Studio, create a brand new project. Let's add that file. Of course, it's right at the top. I'm going to use the awesome Polar Filament Bubblegum PLA. 0.2 settings. Let's slice the plate and check it out. It is going to print in about 38 minutes. How cool is that? Print plate, and let's send it to the 3D printer. And less than 40 minutes later, we have got a fidget to go test. All right, time for the moment of truth. This is the one just off the press. And check it out. They already all spin. If you ever have one that's a tiny bit tight, I will give you a hack. Flat screwdriver, and you can boom, twist it free. But bang, just like that, you have got fun print-in-place fidgets. As I wrap up, I do want to say thank you to ZDP189 for sharing the awesome skill. Don't forget you can check that bit.ly up above to see all of his awesome creations. I also want to thank you for watching, and don't forget, if you make something awesome, make sure you share it with the tag HLMT23. Also, a massive shout out to everybody that supports me via YouTube memberships. Don't forget there are 3 different levels of support starting as low as $5 a month. With any level of support, you get early access to videos. Make sure you also pay attention to those members only posts. I would also like to give a massive shout out to everybody that supports me via Patreon. Love how that group is growing. We are past 400 members. It has a fantastic messaging area where you can ask questions, post designs, gain skills. Of course, you can learn more with the bit.ly up above or the link in the description. Finally, friends, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget, every time you like, hype, share a video, add a comment down below, or click subscribe, you're helping HLModTech get just a little bit bigger, which absolutely makes my day. Friends, have a glorious day, and keep tinkering.